So hi everyone, thank you for coming. We are pleased to welcome you for this conference. Hi Anant, how are you? Good. Hi Neethu. Hi. Hi, how are you, Tijana?
Very good, thank you.
Good. How are you, Stella, today?
I'm very good, Jonathan. Thank you. Unfortunately, due to health reasons, and as you can see, our fourth guest, Miss Paula, cannot be here. But we have with us three wonderful alumni who are going to
Yes,
share now their experience.
that's right. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a subject. So today we are going to talk about a subject, thank you, that concerns all of us. How can international and French students enter in the labor market? So our guest will try to answer this question, but first we want to thank also Cosmopolitans and Pour Parler for helping to organize this conference. Okay, so maybe.
So
Yeah.
now, of course, we have to introduce the guests, and I will let them introduce themselves. And like in an interview, let's say you have 1 minute to share some stuff about your personal and professional background. Diana?
Yeah, I can start. Well, hello everybody. I'm very, very happy to be here today. My name is Tijana. I am coming from Serbia and I moved to France 4 years ago. First, I studied at ESSEC Business School. Then I came here to Schema Business School for a Master of Science in International Strategy and Influence. Now I'm working, before in Belgrade, I obtained bachelor degree in economics. Then I came to France and now I'm working in automotive industry. When I entered automotive industry, automotive supplier, I had no idea about anything. So don't be scared if you're about to get a job in industry or company that you don't know anything about. We can talk about it tonight. Yes, today I am working in a department called Cockpit of the Future, where I'm trying with my team to discover what is going to happen to the cars and automotive market in next 10 to 15 years.
Thank you so much. Neethu?
Hello, everyone. I'm Neethu. I'm from India. I'm an engineer in electronics and communication. I moved to France in 2018. I started my schema. I did my master's in project program management and business development at schema in 2018. After that, I've done my internship at Sanguba as assistant project manager. After that, I didn't work for some time because of COVID. And then I started with Atos. I'm a business management consultant at Atos. And at Atos, my client is Stellantis. It's also a automotive company. And currently, I'm working in a very interesting technology, very interesting concept, which is called digital key. I'll talk about it if we have more time on what is digital key. I'll just tell briefly. Is that fine? Yeah.
Yes.
So digital key is nothing but if using your mobile phones to be able to open your car or close a car. Nowadays we use that for houses also. So I'm working on that, not particularly on the front end or not on the mobile application. I'm really in the back end, how to establish the communication between the car and the cloud. So it's a very interesting project, and like how she just mentioned, it was new to me as well. I didn't know any terminologies in automotive industry. When I started, I was also dumbstruck, and now it's going good. I've learned all the terminologies, and so you guys don't need to be any scared if you are trying for different domains. That's it from me.
Thank you very much, Neethu. And Anant?
Hello, everyone. My name is Anant. I'm from India. So I came to France in the middle of very uncertainty in the year 2020. So yeah, it was a very tough time. In my bachelor's, I did a mathematics honors, and currently I'm working as a consultant in the marketing and research department for a consulting firm. We are very specifically based on the higher education and business education field. And currently I'm working on a project developing our firm's office in India. So it's a very interesting project because the mindset in India is very different from the mindset that we have in Europe, especially in the business education. So yeah, we can talk about it later more on. That is me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all our guests for being here. And now, before moving to the core part of the conference, we're going first to play a little ice-breaking game, and it's called This or That, or Fast and Curious. And so we are going to ask you two proposals, two options, and you have to choose between one of them as quickly as possible. And of course, if you want, you can give us an explanation. And so I start with Neethu.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Summer or winter vacation?
Summer.
Okay. Start a business or work in a company?
Working in a company for the moment.
Can you develop a bit on that?
Yes. So right now I'm trying to get my experience in working in a company. I've actually started work. I've actually established a company just before this. It was called Tekara, but because of COVID, we had to shut it down. So then I decided I would take some time, gain some experience, and then go into the business again.
Okay, perfect. Marketing or management?
Management, of course.
Of course. Dancing or singing?
Dancing.
Okay.
I do both, but dancing is my preference.
Indian dancing?
Yes, I do a lot. Actually, we have so many events here and we do a lot of dancing.
Perfect. And early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Okay.
I cannot wake up early. I try my best. I have a baby now. I try my best to be early, to wake her up early, but we both sleep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Tijana, countryside or city?
Countryside.
Countryside, right. Do you know that France has great countryside also?
I do.
Have you visited?
Yes, of course.
Great. Pain au chocolat or chocolatine?
Chocolatine.
Chocolatine?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
It's in the southwest, I think, they tell that. Okay. LinkedIn or WhatsApp?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's different, huh?
Yeah? Okay. Yes, of course. But yes, for business.
Let's say LinkedIn. Yeah.
LinkedIn. Okay. Italian or Lebanese food?
Italian.
Italian.
Serbian.
Serbian. Is Serbian good food?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Thesis or business plan?
Business plan.
Business plan.
Yes.
Okay. Anant, I have a question for you also. What do you prefer? French or English songs?
English.
English. Have you listened to French songs also?
I tried.
You tried?
Yeah, I tried my best.
But no,
No,
you didn't.
It's a dead end. It's a dead end for me.
Okay. Okay. What do you prefer? Foie gras or snail?
No, I'm a vegetarian.
You're vegetarian. Okay. Movies or book?
Movies.
Movies.
Mm.
Okay. Schema or schema?
Schema.
Schema. Yes, you have no choice, right?
Yeah, no choice.
Okay. So now that we know you better, let's go to the heart of the matter. We are first going to ask you questions about your previous experience as a schema student and then as a current worker in a company, right? So Anant, why did you choose France to study?
Well, it's a very situational question for me. So in the year 2020, when I started applying for the business schools around the world, so I applied to Germany, Spain, France, and in UK. And by the time I have to decide after getting the admission results, only France was accepting students to come to attend the face-to-face classes. So that was one of the major reason that I have to came to France for my studies. Apart from that, when I researched more about the country, I really like the culture, the facilities that is provided to the students. Name it social security or the CAF or many more aspects. For example, for the Indian students, we have a 2 years post-study visa to search for a job or to create a business. So there are many positive aspects for France, especially for the Indian students. So that's why I choose France.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And did you have other choice than Schema or like another business school?
So in France, I have Schema and GEM.
Okay.
And in Spain, I had IE Business School. In Germany, I have FSFM Frankfurt School.
Okay.
These were my choices in Europe, and because I had the opportunity to attend the classes face to face, that too in the middle of the COVID, so that's why I chose France instead of Spain or Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Next question is for Neethu. Neethu, did you enjoy your overall experience at Schema?
Yes, I would say like it was just a 1 year time, 2 semesters. I didn't have a lot of time to look into enjoy things here or the facilities. Especially, I didn't study here. I studied at La Défense. So I did enjoy a lot. Especially some of the courses were really interesting. Compared to what I did in my bachelor's, I did engineering. So this management was really something different. I didn't have to sit and cram on books. Engineering is you sit and cram, you study for the exams, a lot of things. But here it was more applicative. Especially for project and program management course, you have to do a lot of projects. For example, what you're doing right now, you have to do a lot of projects, and it's quite interesting. Every day you have to come up with, for different subjects, you need to come up with different projects. Especially, we also did something like this. Similarly, one of the seminars we are also conducted. So it was quite interesting.
What would you say is your best memory as you remember the years?
Okay, so one of the best memory is one of the project that I've done. It was we were trying to introduce different cuisines, different sweets of the world to Schema. So I prepared something called coconut pearl from my region. And it got sold a lot. So many people bought it. I prepared like 70 of them, and 55 of them got sold. So I had a huge profit on that. So that was quite memorable.
That's very, very interesting. And Tijana, do you have any small anecdote or a small story to tell us about your years at Schema?
Well, anecdote, I'm not sure. What I really remember, what stick with me, it was we had a lot of projects, and we always worked together, and we always had international groups because they were assigned by teachers. So in order not to be stick with the same people, always you're hanging out with the same people. They always try to organize us with different people. And maybe the most pleasant memory for me was when we had partnership with a consulting company that came and we did a project with them. We built an app with them by using low-code platform that they showed us. It was Microsoft Power Apps. And me, before I studied coding, but traditional coding with programming languages, etc. But that was the first time for me to hear about low code and that kind of platform. And I was extremely happy. It was extremely interesting. We developed our app. It worked, actually. It actually worked. And we were extremely a team for that project. That was the first time maybe that I really felt that everyone had a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of motivation for something to really, really work.
That's very impressive. So Schema introduced you to something new.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, completely.
That's great. That's great. Moving on, Neethu, we would like to ask you, how did you find your first job in France? And maybe more specifically, you can tell us what tools you used to explore your job options.
Um, okay, so to begin with, I started applying for job in 2022. I've done in 2020 also. Let me see. 2020 also, but due to COVID, I wasn't getting any job opportunities. 2022 is when I actually started applying for jobs. First, I started with LinkedIn. Then I understood that LinkedIn would not be enough. So I subscribed to all the possible platforms I can, like LinkedIn. There was Welcome to the Jungle. There was APEC, everything possible. I applied to all the platforms. And most interestingly, what you have to keep doing is every day you need to keep applying for 5 or 10 posts a day. You should not really look at what kind of post. You have to see, okay, my field is project management and more into IT. So you need to look into that kind of a position, but you need to try to apply to the maximum number of jobs as possible, and minimum at least five positions a day, minimum 5 positions. Then only, like, by the end of 1 month you might get 2 or 3 calls. So it was kind of hard at the beginning, because for 2-3 months I wasn't getting any calls. Then when I started getting calls, it was completely in French. So I cleared my job interviews in French itself, though I speak English. Most of my job interviews were in French, and I aimed to do my interviews in French. I wanted to clear it in French as well. That was my mission.
Okay.
Okay, so you also mentioned LinkedIn.
Yes, LinkedIn.
Do you think it's one of the most useful?
Yes, it's definitely the one of the most useful, because LinkedIn is where you can connect with a lot of people, is professionally a lot of people, as well as you get all the latest job updates, and you need to subscribe to a premium level. You should not be just a normal subscriber. You have to premium level, so you can see what are the latest job positions available, who all are checking you out. That can also it's very important. You need which companies are checking you out, then you can go them and stalk them and see their the positions available in their site. One thing I've done is not just I've just not applied to random positions. I've also researched a lot of companies. Then I've gone into their site and then applied there as well. Because you can't just rely on LinkedIn or any of the platform. You need to go out, talk to different people through LinkedIn. You can make connections and talk to them, or you need to go to their websites, the company websites, and apply over there. So you need to try all your possibilities to land a job.
Thank you so much for your insights.
Yeah, Tijana, is there a site that you recommend for searching a job?
For me, I really try to leverage both offline and online sources when I was looking for a job. Yes, I focused on LinkedIn a lot.
Yeah.
But what I would really recommend is that this school offered me, for example, just to give the practical. So we had a lot of partnerships, as I mentioned, with consulting company. We did one partnership project for several weeks with BCG, for example, and a lot of other companies. The first thing that I would do every time when we finish the project, when those people, those consultants or whomever, employees from those companies know my name because we gave our work, our project for grading or whatever, I would connect them to on LinkedIn. So they remember me, and every now and then, if I'm interested in that field, for example, consulting or whatever that company is coming from, I would drop a message just to say thank you. It was very interesting. I learned a lot, etc. So I was trying to build a network, both online and offline. From offline, bringing it to online network. So just to have more option, let's say, and try to avoid just as much as possible blindly applying for jobs, even though that has to be there. It is what it is. But yeah, leveraging everything that this school offers you, the best.
Okay, that's very clear. Okay, so yeah, speaking about LinkedIn, you said in one of your posts, yeah, I experienced that diversity comes with a language filter. If you are fluent, they will try to include you. Otherwise, all the best. So do you consider that opportunities can be limited without a fluent French in company?
You did your homework really well.
Yeah.
So I think that at that day I was very frustrated with this experience, so that's why I posted it on LinkedIn. And later after, our company published a newsletter every month, and this is also published in the company's newsletter as well. So what I personally experienced, I was a good student at Schema in my class. I was doing really well, and I saw students getting into the positions and who are not very good at study just because they are fluent in the language.
Yeah.
So what I exactly feel is that opportunities came with a filter to you. If you are very much fluent and you are lacking the skills, there is a possibility that you will end up having that job. And on the other hand, you're very skilled, doing really good with your life, have all the skill sets that is required for the job, but don't speak the language. Maybe this is my personal experience that they will not give you that opportunity or chance. So that day I was very frustrated. That's why I posted that.
Yes, but you're right. There are inequalities, right?
Yeah, in the society, no matter how much we say that everyone is equal or blah blah.
Yeah.
But there are inequalities, and there will be, I think, for a longer time.
So for you, how can international students overcome this difficulty, because it's very difficult, right?
So what I suggest on my personal experience, try to get in touch with the people around you in Schema. They come from different nationalities, so try to make them your friends. Instead of being in a group of a particular students coming from a particular region, try to have that diversity and inclusion within yourself. So you cannot change the other person, but you can change yourself. So other person is not having that diversity and inclusion in their mind, but you can have that, and you can start approaching to the other people from different culture, different background, different languages. So this is the great opportunity while you are at Schema. You have that that risk factor that you can take while you are studying. So with that experience, you'll grow and you'll learn. This is the most important part. Apart from that, make network. So so for me, I always said this to all my friends and everyone. You are not doing a technical course, so it's a management degree that you are doing, and a management person have to have some leadership and communication skills within himself. So try to make a good network when you are pursuing your degree. Try to connect with people. Try to connect with the companies. And I know there are career fairs happening all over the year at Schema. So try to connect with the people of the companies, those who are coming on campus. And as they say, you go for advice and you get the job. So go for advice to the people. How can I improve myself? Or what is there in my CV? What is lagging in my profile? What skills I should work on in order to get into the job market in the next 6 months or next 12 months? So you go with the advice and you end up having a job because you're showing interest to the other person that you are interested in working in his organization. So have that open-mindedness and think broadly. That's my suggestion to everyone.
Okay, that's clear. I think it's yes. Okay, that's great. So now, Tijana, you have already answered a little bit, but in France, to you, what matters the most when you seek your first job? You say that you have to make contact with people in the real world and then add them in LinkedIn. Do you have something else or?
Yeah, so of course, networking is very important part of trying to get a job, internship, whatever. But when we talk about getting a first job or first internship, French companies, I have an impression, they really value education. So education projects that you did during that education, internships before, very important. So leverage that. And if you're an international student and you don't speak French, at least not at the level to work in French. That was my case. And I can see that that's a case for many people here. Or try to find companies that really will value your international background and perspective. So companies that are seeking for employees that are exclusively international because they need new perspective. They need fresh perspective, not only French perspective. That's what I did. So, and of course, afterwards, you give your best and you put effort as much as possible to learn French, at least at the level to make friends, be social at the office, etc. Because social part of work life in France is extremely important. So, yeah.
Neethu, do you agree? Would you say maybe that having a work experience is more important than the education part in France?
Yes. For a beginner, for a fresher who just graduates, I would say the degree is much important than work experience because they look at where you graduated from, what degree you have done. After that, maybe let's say around 7 to 10 years of experience when you have, they look 80% into the experience. They talk to you on based on the experience that you have. Excuse me. And not on your degree. But at the beginning, it's more about degree and which school you have done your degree in. Yes.
So degree, school, and networking, you would say?
Yes, networking is really, really important at any stage. We are all international students. If you have to adapt to this place, we need to have networking. We need to not just your colleagues. We need to contact other people in LinkedIn. Like if you really want a job, if you really like a particular job, just by posting into that job, you may not land that job. So what you have to do is you have to search the person or the HR behind it, send them a personal message, and that will help you better than all those people who posted into that job. So networking is really important. You need to go for events. You need to build one-on-one relationship with people. Yes, that's what I would say.
Thank you. And also in your LinkedIn, you mentioned that you were exposed to the working culture in France. Can you tell us some stuff about that and like the management type?
Yes. So right now I have two experiences. First is my internship at Saint-Gobain. There I was an assistant project manager. So I would say the management type was, because I'm intern, more of a autocratic kind of management. They would tell me what I have to do. Later on, slowly, by 3 months of me into the work, I was given my will to do the work. I could go to the client, I could talk to them by myself. But at the beginning, it was my manager. He would be there and he would direct me of what I have to do. Later, it was more of a democratic management style. Right now, when I'm in Atos, I don't have much connections with my manager in Atos because I work primarily for Stellantis. So there again, we have a very cool atmosphere, and we have democratic kind of management style where we discuss well before we take a decision. Maybe it's my manager who takes the decision. As a product owner, I have to take at some point some decisions. I have to tell my developers that you have to develop this kind of application. You have to deliver it in this particular time. So this is how it works. Apart from that, I think the management style is quite different from what I experienced in India. There, at the beginning, it was more autocratic. They would direct you, you have to do this. It's very strict. It's not very lenient. But here, it's more free. You have 9 to 5 working hour here, 35 hours a week. But it depends. Some days you work more, some days you work less. Here they look more on the quality. So in India, when I used to work in India, they used to push me on the timeline. Okay, you worked only till 6 in the evening. No, you have to work till 8. I used to have this kind of a thought process, but here no. If it is 5 o'clock, sometimes I leave at 5 and I'm done with my work. No, of course you should not leave at 1 in the afternoon if you're done with work. But if you're done by 4:30 or 5, today's work you're done, then you can leave. It's fine.
So it's different, as you say, in your home country.
Mm-hmm.
Is that also true about Serbia, Tijana?
Yes, I would say yes. And that was the first shock that I experienced when I started my job here, because work-life balance is extremely important here. So people go for lunch for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Doesn't matter if you don't have meetings, it's completely fine to stay longer. But people afterwards are more efficient. They really do their job. They finish everything. It's not like they're having coffees and lunch, but they don't do the job. They do the job more efficiently, but then they take time to relax, to chat, to socialize, hang out, etc. And yes, I completely agree. If you finish your work at 5, go home. At the end of the day, that's your job, to deliver what you're asked to deliver. Sometimes I have to work until 7, 8, and that's fine as well for me, completely. So I like it. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, a lot of French people are very complaining, but when we hear, in India, the type of management, was it the same for you also? Yeah.
Yeah, but if you tell one French person, you know what, on the dot, you arrive at 8 and you leave at 5, whatever, and on the dot you have to lunch 1 hour, they will very, very quickly come back to this lifestyle they already have.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Neethu, I have a question for you. So you work in Athos.
Mm-hmm.
It's a French company.
Yes.
So what is the policy to welcome foreign workers, especially in Athos? How is it?
I don't think there is a policy of welcoming in foreign, international or foreign workers. I started like a French person only. My interviews happened in French. All the processes happened in French. And when I first came into the company, there was somebody to guide me into the whole process. So I would say that there is nothing specific for a foreign person. You just indulge into this company when you have to start with a company, or when you have to start somewhere, you have to just adapt and indulge into their culture. And just there is nothing specific for foreign people. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Anant, if you have one in mind, could you please share us one anecdote about what surprised you the most in the French management, the French management at work?
So before starting my professional career in France, I watched Emily in Paris, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I had that thing in my mind that we are having to have lunch for 4 hours, 5 hours, or then in between coffee and cigarette breaks. But the thing is, it is just like you are refueling yourself and giving your best right after your lunch. So your productivity increases. So it is just an anecdote, but if you see it while experiencing, So it is like having that refreshment and refueling yourself and giving you 100% right after the break. So you deliver most. You are very much focused because you had your own time. So I think the first half and the second half, the only difference is the people are much better in the second half, right after the lunch. So this is really a great thing, and we should appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we were also talking about time working hour. You know, Tijana, do you know that in Belgium, since November 2022, the 4-day week has been adopted for employees who want to? Do you think it would be a good idea in France also? How do you perceive, yeah, the French working hours?
I think that 4 work week would be great idea.
Yeah.
Because if it's a common knowledge. I mean, the study has been done. Whatever, if you're given 3 days to finish something, it will take you 3 days. If you're given 3 hours to finish the same thing, you will finish it in 3 hours. So if you have a 4 day week, I think people would be more motivated, more productive, more efficient in order to have 1 day additional to their weekend. I would completely support it, personally.
Okay. Do you,
Funny that I did one of the presentation. I did one of the presentation when I studied for this 4-day. We were supporting on the 4-day week.
Really?
Yes.
Really? And are you still supporting?
It's half. I would say 50-50. Because 4-day will be fun. It will be great. You get a 1 day extra to carry out all other personal things, especially when you have a family. But sometimes when I'm loaded with a lot of work, I think 5 days is needed.
5 days needed. Okay.
Sometimes, because some weeks are very stressful where you need to complete a lot of work and you need really Friday to finish it off. So at that moment, yes.
Okay, so if I understand well, you all say that time working hour should be adapted to with your projects. It depends on how far you have advanced on your project, right? It's better than fixed working hour like 8 to 5 p.m. Right.
Yes, especially the reason why I say 5 working days is sometimes some of the colleagues will be on leave and we need to deliver something within Friday. And if Friday is off or Wednesday is off, and if you don't get those people in hand before Friday, you are in trouble. So that's why I say some 5 is needed at times, but 4 is great.
Okay.
Thank you. So let's go back again to the concept of networking. We mentioned this a bit, but Anant, could you please develop more on the significance of having a strong professional network in France?
Sure. So a little about my background before starting on that. So before coming to France, I was in sports. So I'm an international powerlifting player. So I was not very much into the academic side. I was completely into the other side of the world. And I created my LinkedIn account after landing into the France. But as soon as I joined Schema, I came to know about the importance of the LinkedIn and the networking uh, through a PPMBD student who lived near to my apartment, and he was senior to me. He told me that it is in France, if someone is referring you to a job, you have more chances. So referrals work really well in France for a particular job. So I created my LinkedIn account and I did a lot of networking in during my masters. Um, and according to me, it worked really well for me. So wherever I am today, just because of the networking. So it helped me in getting the internship opportunities, the job opportunities, the interviews. I feel like I have a leverage over the other applicants if someone is referring me or if I know someone in that company. So I have a little leverage. At least I will get the interview call, and then it's up to in my hands how good or bad I perform in that interview or whatever the application process is. So I'll definitely recommend everyone that they should focus their a part of their day in doing networking on LinkedIn, and maybe face to face if they get the opportunity, meet the people, and try to leverage that. So it is the only thing that you have in your hand, and make the most out of it.
And now that you know a bit of how the market works, is there something you would have done differently in networking or seeking your first job?
I would say no, because the things worked really well for me. So my plan worked really well for me. I get my internship in May. So I finished my last exam on 28th of April, and I start working on May 1st. So everything worked pretty well for me. I was very focused from day one. By the time when my peers were not applying for the internships because they thought that it is too early, I was getting interview calls. So in the month of February, I was having around 10 interview calls for the different internship. So I was much way ahead of, in compared to my peers, because I planned everything really well. So you have to be focused, because you know the market is tough for the people who don't speak French fluently, for the international people. So plan accordingly, plan well, start early, and try to figure out what is the need in the market, what skill sets are required. So one interesting thing also happened in the last 1 year. So when by the time when I get the internship, and right after 6 months, ChatGPT came into the picture, and now the market is dominated by the AI. So I'll definitely recommend to upgrade your skill sets whenever you get the time. Do the certification. There are certification by Microsoft, Google, and other platforms. Learn a little bit about it. I don't get into the technical part, but at least you should know. So there is a quote by a Harvard dean nowadays. So only two type of people will going to have the job in future. One who knows how to work on AI, and the second one who have the good soft skills, who have empathy, who can connect with people, who have good communication skills. So only these two categories of the people have going to have the job in future. So yeah, utilize your time really, really well.
That's very nice. It's very nice that you mentioned also AI. We're going to have a talk about this in the end with Tiana. But I would also like to ask Tiana if she would have done anything differently.
Well, he explained very, very, very well what I would done differently. Completely, I would right now, from this perspective, from this point of view, I would apply his strategy from A to Z. Really, I would start earlier. I would be more focused. Okay, today I would leverage all these AI tools that are available to us, so I can do my job very quickly, more efficient. You know, making CV for each application differently. But yeah, I think he did a great job, and he explained it very well. So I would implement his strategy.
Perfect.
Okay, so we have searching earlier, using AI, leveraging opportunities that schema gives us, and networking, obviously. Would you have a last tips for searching job, Neethu?
One thing I would want to add is when I started applying for jobs, I was just focusing on English job post, and then my CV was in English. So when I tried for several months, I wasn't landing any jobs, not even one call. So the first thing I feel you should do, one mistake that I've done is, first thing is have your CV in French. It's very important. It doesn't matter if you get calls in French. You will fail. In my experience, I failed numerous times. They called me, they questioned me in French. It wasn't working out for me. What I would do is I would write down all the questions in French, whatever they asked me, and then I would prepare an answer in French itself. Always you need to be prepared with présentez-vous. You have to be prepared on that. Present yourself. That needs to be well prepared in French, well ahead. And then every time when you get a call, note down the questions that you didn't do well, and then prepare yourself a note. I don't ask you to by heart them, your answers, but it's French. Again, you are not very fluent with it. You need to have some sort of an idea what you are saying. So this is something that I wouldn't do next time. I would be well prepared before itself. Um, and it doesn't matter you fail 10 interviews or not. Every interview is giving you an experience. So every time you fail one, don't be disheartened. Just take it as a stepping stone for the next interview.
Thank you. That's very useful. Personally, these are my concerns, and I'm guessing also for the other international students. So that's very useful what you said. And now, Anant, I want to ask you, if we swap the roles, do you have any tips for the French students that would like to work internationally or maybe in your country?
In my country, French students.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think they feel very welcomed. Indians known for their hospitality. So they feel welcomed and they are going to have a great time. They'll enjoy. I don't have much recommendation, but just I'll say that prepare yourself for the spicy food.
But it's not that common because of your reaction.
No, not that common.
Not that common.
Not that common.
Not the food.
Not the food.
Okay.
Tiana, would you say it's the same in Serbia?
Well, if international people would like to come to Serbia,
Or French students specifically?
yes, they would be very welcomed. They don't need to know Serbian. English is fair enough. Everybody speak English. And what I would say is that Belgrade is an amazing city for startups. Young people are very supported. It's full of young people. Everybody are very welcome. So if you want to start something or try any idea, that's the place.
Very, very interesting.
Okay, so now for all the students, maybe some of you want to work in a big company. Here we have Neethu that works in Atos. So how is it to work in such a big company? Maybe you have done other work in smaller companies. How is it in Atos?
Well, I've always worked in bigger companies, so I don't know how it will be if I work in a startup or a smaller company. Anywhere that you work, it's everything is an experience for you. But Atos, particularly, what I liked about Atos is they were very warm, welcoming from the first day onwards. I was one of the international person among a lot of people. I found most of them were French. So they didn't, it was very diverse. I felt like, okay, they didn't show any sort of, what do you say, difference. They consider me as a French itself. And, sorry. And what is interesting about Atos is it's a consulting company, and each and every they have multiple varieties of domains available. Currently, I said I'm working in automotive. When I joined first, I've got an opportunity in healthcare. In fact, I'm tagged to a manager and to the field of healthcare. But because my healthcare project didn't start, it was delayed. They suggested me with the automotive project. And because it's a new concept that I explained to you at the beginning, digital key, I wanted to understand what it is. Each and every day we are seeing cars. A lot of new things are coming into the car. So I wanted to learn a lot in that. So that's why I went with Stellantis. And it's not just that. When you're done with one mission, tomorrow you want to try on another domain, you have the opportunity when you are in the consulting firm.
So if I understand well, the ability to work in a consulting firm is to learn very quick and very well. You have to, you work in many fields that you didn't especially study.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I've never studied anything in automotive. I've my base in electronics, but I'm currently working in IT field. So it's completely different. And again, in India, I work for Microsoft. So that's IT. I work for the release of Windows 10 OS, which we are working on currently, which we use currently in Windows. After that, in Sanguba is a construction company. Again, I worked in the IT side to develop a finance application. So now I work in a automotive company, Stellantis.
Yeah.
So I've gone through different domains actually, each and every time. Field almost remains the same, but the domain kept changing. So you get to study more on the domain. And tomorrow, if you want to look for another domain, it's easier. You just need to say that I'm done with this project. I would like to look for something else.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of options. It's just not automotive. You have transport, media, all banks, different banks. As in the transport, when I talk about transport, it is trains or different trains related. You can work.
Yeah. Do you guys agree on the fact that learning, every day is a true ability that you need to have when you work in a company?
Yes.
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 It's very important to.
Yes,
Yeah,
every day you're actually learning something new.
Yeah.
Maybe first is about the domain, what you worked in, and then next is about adapting to the team, making the team do the activities or the task that needs to be done. Next is when you have to come up with innovative ideas based on this domain. After that, they will come up with other ideas where you have to develop. So you need to think about them. So every day you are learning something or the other, and to utilize the latest technologies into what we are working on. It's very important. So each day, we often say that doctors need to be always updated. It's not just doctors. Everyone needs to be always updated on the technologies and the current situations.
That's true. Okay, thank you. I really like your response. So, okay. So I have a question for you, Anant. We noticed that you were involved a lot in schema clubs. So could you share your testimony? What is your advice for international students that may hesitate to involve in student life in schema?
So according to me, it's a great opportunity to be involved with the people around you, whether it's French or some other nationality. So before getting into the real work environment, you have that opportunity to work on small projects through these associations. And when you mention some soft skills on your CV, for example, time management or proactiveness, so you can easily explain that to the recruiter that while I was studying at SCAM, I managed to have good grades and work on these projects through these associations while working with this number of students from coming from these number of backgrounds. So this will definitely give you something to talk during your interview, for especially for the freshers who who are just going to the work environment for the first time right after their studies. So getting into association, it's a really great opportunity, and I'll definitely recommend each and every one of you to go and collaborate with different association, the ones who you like, the one who connect with your goals, and give your best in those associations.
Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting. Now our final subject will be AI, and we have Tijana, who is very interested in AI. So first of all, you can tell us, how do you use AI in your company?
Yes. So I'm very grateful to say that my company is one of the first companies to first adopt generative AI. That we are creating a generative AI team right now. And second of all, to be one of the first companies to have 300 licenses for Microsoft Copilot. And I myself, I am now Microsoft ambassador for Copilot. And my job is that, because it's a beta version right now, it's a Copilot based on generative AI. My job, along with other ambassadors, is to develop new use cases from automation of the everyday work, everyday jobs, so just to save some time, increase efficiency, etc., to developing use cases that are really connected to manufacturing and product lines. So it's the beginning, but it's extremely interesting. We have the resources, we have the driven people that really want to work on it. And for now, yes, we are testing Microsoft Copilot. We have regular meetings with Microsoft where we share with them use cases, and also we share with them what doesn't work, for example, with the software, so they can adjust it, they can make it work, they can fix it, etc. So it's the part of that early bird company that, because we were given these licenses, and that's why we have to help them to develop the best possible tool.
Okay, and did this passion for AI started because of this job, or something happened earlier?
No, so basically I was always tech savvy, and I was always into this stuff. Last year, when ChatGPT became available, it was the first time in our lives that we had the opportunity to really put our hands on AI tool and really try it and really see how it works and how much it saves time. So I started playing with it from the beginning, from November, October last year. Yes. And I started developing, I started realizing, because at the time there were no courses, there were no specialists in ChatGPT, Midjourney, Runaway, or whatever tool it went live. So I was just playing with each one of them, figuring out how it works, and figuring out my own use cases. What can I build with them? So I build apps. I build. I started many side hustles based on generative AI, only because it was fun for me. So I realized that I can make a course, I can make educational video, whatever, for example, on ChatGPT in just a few minutes. I realized that I can write, and that's one of my side hustles. I can write a fiction book for Amazon. ChatGPT I will give the topic, I will give the characters, I will explain to him everything that I want. It will write for me with a voice of any writer style that I want. It will format it for me, and then I will go to Midjourney. I will create a cover for my book, and I will place it on Amazon. And for me, that's passive income. And I do that everything in one day, max. So after that, I kind of refocused. Okay, I will be doing, I will be learning prompt engineering for ChatGPT, and that kind of Copilot, for example. Midjourney is more for design. I'm not into design, so I don't spend too much time on it. But I try to leverage as much as possible all these tools just to help myself at my job, at my side hustle. I mean, it's just awesome opportunity, yes, to be creative. If you have any idea, to realize it. This is the exact time when you should do it. And as you mentioned, yes, it's very important to. I think it has already, but it will be more important in the future to have these skills on your CV if you want to find a job. But not only because I don't know, it's going to be cool, it's going to be mandatory to know how to prompt in ChatGPT. It's really to drive your innovation and creativity, because now it's limitless. You have you have a problem with something and you think that one app would really solve it. can be whatever. You can go on ChatGPT or any other generative AI tool and figure it out how to design that tool, that app, without having any technical background or coding knowledge. So I think we really should not only know about it, and fresh graduates not only know, okay, it's this, it's that, this is what is it about, but to really start experiencing it, because it's fun. I mean, it's not studying, it's fun.
Yeah. No, I have huge trouble trusting ChatGPT. But at the same time, I spend hours when in a project when ChatGPT could do that in, I know, in 1 minute. So yeah, how can you convince me? And how can you, give advice how to use ChatGPT? Like, do you trust him without checking after? Or how do you use it concretely?
Well, first of all, we have to be careful for what are we using it. If we are using it for creative work, for example, as I mentioned, you want to write a book or something, you have an idea, but you need it to develop the story, to make it look nice, beautiful, etc. There is no wrong answer, so there is no references. On the other side, if you want to do it to help you with schoolwork, which I don't recommend,
That doesn't happen, unfortunately.
FYI. Yes, of course, you have to check references, but you have to be aware that there have been updates on even weekly basis today. So today, when they combined ChatGPT with Bing, because Bing has its own generative chat that you can see when you ask a question, you can see the reference from when where it is coming from. So it's the same today with ChatGPT. So every single, if you ask something that actually exists on the internet and it's a real fact, but you are not sure if you should trust it because you don't know from where it took the information, ChatGPT will today give you the reference where you can click, go on a website and see if the site is legit and if you can trust it.
So, okay, so does that mean that, someone like me, like you, can produce the same work as a searcher that know very, very well his field, but thanks to AI, we can do the same work he does? Is it? Yeah.
You mean to have the same output from ChatGPT?
Yes.
No, not possible.
Not possible.
Not possible, and that's the whole idea, because generative AI means that it creates something, it generates something, and every time, even if me and you, we ask exactly the same question, at the same time, we will get different answer. However, if you're afraid of that, that's where prompt engineering is coming. So the more information you give to ChatGPT, for example, but any generative AI tool, the more information you give, the more details, the more you make your prompt really special and focused, you go into that rabbit hole, yeah. Really, it's less likely that somebody else did the same.
Okay.
So you will not get the same answer as anybody else.
Yeah, so it doesn't depend only on ChatGPT, but on you, how to use it.
Yes, yes, okay. Yes, exactly, yeah.
And this is why Schema is doing also now a track in AI. Okay, so I think we have finished.
Yes, if you want to share something more before we start the Q&A.
Yeah. Do you have something? No? Everything is said?
Let's have the Q&A, okay. Yeah.
Hello, thank you for this conference. So my question is more for Tijana. Do you have some tools that us students we can use to train ourselves on AI and to have some idea how to prompt and that could help us for a future job?
Yes, so first what I would recommend that there is a lot of courses on Coursera or edX, a lot of them. that are just basics in generative AI, prompting, etc. Also, I would really recommend just going on LinkedIn and finding generative AI page where everything is up to date. There are a lot of cheat sheets for prompting, etc. Even myself, I made several. Just looking at those for the starters, it will be very helpful. And after that, when you get the idea how it works, how can you really prompt and make it think the way you want it to think, you just start at play by yourself. Depends on what you need, and you just say to it whatever you need help for your thesis, but you don't have the idea. You find a specialist, a professor, whatever, in that has published a lot of books, for example, on that topic that you really need. You tell ChatGPT that you want it to be that professor, to think like that professor, and it will give you insights and ideas from the books and research papers from that professor, let's say.
Thank you.
Thank you for this informative session. My question is for Anant. Like you mentioned that you have to start early for applying internships, and it's my just 1-year course. So right now what I'm seeing on LinkedIn is the openings for internships are for like January. So how do you apply for companies who are looking for May or maybe June internships? And my second question is, like Neethu mentioned that she applied for companies like a French person. Her French was really good. Was it the same case for you as well?
So when are you graduating?
I have to start my internships from May.
May, okay. So by the end of January and February, they start publishing the internship that will start from May or onwards. So by that time, you have that opportunity to apply on all the companies. And regarding the second question, my experience was totally different. So I get into touch with a person from an organization called Hired. So Hired is an association run by the EFMD. EFMD is one of the accreditation that our school have. So I get into touch with the chief talent officer of the Hired, and she told me that if you are sending a CV in French and you don't speak French, it is like you are misinterpreting with him or her, the person who are having the interview with you. So if you are not that confident in speaking French, send your CV in English. So it will make the things more clear between you and the recruiter. And yeah, and also prepare your at least your first question. Tell me about yourself in French. That's the max you can do. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My question is to all of you. I have Spanish origins, but it's not really, I cannot really valorize it because usually we're speaking English in companies. So I was wondering, like, did you succeed to have an added value by speaking another language that is not the working language, I would say?
I think it's one of the best thing to have in your personal profile. So for example, in my company, if I have a project in India and I speak the local language, so there is a great opportunity for me first, and it's a high chance that I will be leading that project. So if you are speaking Spanish or any other language apart from the local language of the company, and a project came in that company, which is most of the case in nowadays, because everyone wants to go international and everyone wants to expand all the horizons of the business. So when your company is having a Spanish project, you will definitely going to have that upper hand. That's my personal.
Thank you.
I would just add that having another European language other than French is an added value to your CV. I've seen a lot of job posts where they look for Spanish or German speaking people. So for me as a person, I just speak English and then couple of languages in India. So after that, I had to adapt here because I don't know any other European languages. It's just French I'll have to learn. So I think having a Spanish in your CV would be a great added value.
Merci.
I agree. I think Spanish is I mean, English is must have, let's say, but Spanish is the best option if you choose from others.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Anyone else, maybe? Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for this very interesting conference, and thank you for the host for a job at animating this conference. My question is also a global question, so the three of you can answer. You mentioned at the beginning of the conference that some of you found a job in a field that you didn't know anything about. So my question is about your orientation choices. Did you know at the beginning of your studies in what field you wanted to work in, and did you have a very well-written plan from the beginning, or yeah, you adapted through the years?
I can start. Well, it's more for me. I was quite surprised. I found a job in an industry that I didn't know anything about, but I was doing advanced marketing. So the field, I was looking for a job in marketing, let's say marketing analytics, more precisely. But the industry that I found was something really new to me. And yes, I was extremely scared because it was automotive industry and not even like automotive brand, OEM, BMW or something like that. It was a supplier. So really hard manufacturing company. And I was extremely scared because I didn't know terminology. I didn't know what they're doing at all. But then after I would say 1 month, maybe even less, everything became so clear. Everything. I mean, first people, when you arrive, especially as a fresh graduate, nobody expects from you to know that much about industry, about the company, or something like that. My point of view is actually that they prefer for you not to know that much, so they can shape you how they like to, you know. So don't be scared about that, and go for a field that you want. For example, marketing or project management or something like that. But for the industry, if you feel like, okay, this could be nice, but I don't know anything about it, you will learn.
Thank you.
So I've done my master's in project management. So the first thing I was looking into was I wanted a project manager post. So anywhere I applied to, they would say you need at least 10 years of experience to be a project manager. You can't just be one day a project manager. So then I took different posts that will suit me. For example, product owner, business analyst. I was a tester before. I don't really want to go into core IT development because my engineering is not in IT or computer science. So I wanted something in IT, but I actually aimed it in this way. I wanted something what I've worked in, something related to IT, but I want to bring the project management somewhere. So that's when I thought of a couple of posts, like just like I have mentioned, product owner or business analyst, PMO. So I applied to a lot of posts related to this and other management related posts. That's the first thing I did. And it's about the domain. Yes, I've worked in many different domains. So again, the same thing as a PO. First thing, you need to have the analytic, you need to understand the whole concept when they explain it to you. So that's the skill that or the competency you need to have to understand and to have a good communication, especially when you are in a management degree. Yes, you need to communicate well on related to the job. So the first one, when I worked for Sangoba, it was about a front end. It was more on the UI. It was simpler. Now when I came to Stellantis, it's on the back end. There are I think none of the technologies, I've never heard of those technologies. So I was struggling the first 2-3 months. I was learning the technologies. Okay, what is it about? Even now, sometimes when I hear about the technologies, I know what it is. Maybe I don't know in depth. So you don't have to be scared on these kind of terminologies, or you think that, okay, if I go into this domain, I'll be stuck. I don't know anything about. You will have plenty of time to learn about it. It's just that you need to focus well on what you really want to do. First, take exactly, do you really want to go into a very technical related role, or do you really want to go into a management related role? You need to fix on that. That for me, it took me some time. I was first so skeptic. I was thinking, okay, let me try on the technical role because I'm in France. I don't know French. Technical roles will land you more jobs than management roles. So I was thinking about that. Then later on, I said, no, I did masters in management to not be in the technical side. I really have to nail a job in management. So then I try to look into this side. I've got plenty of job opportunities in PMO, PO, business analyst related jobs. And at the beginning, I couldn't nail all of them because it was quite hard. But when it came to this, I got it, and then I took it in the first go because I didn't want to miss it. But now I know the experience has given me an idea of next time when I have to apply for a job, how it has to be.
Thank you.
First of all, having your fears and confusions is a great thing. That means you're exploring something. So for me, it's about self-analyzing. So whenever you are having courses in your class, you're having different courses, marketing, sales, then you have finance if you are in a 2 years master's. So at that particular time, try to figure out what subjects or at what skills you enjoy the most or you are good at. And according to that, figure out in which domain or in which particular industry you want to work. That is the only advice I can give.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I think we have finished. Maybe. No. Someone.
No?
Thank you very much for this experience sharing. I have a question about networking and how to build a good network. I think building a good network is building a good wealth for ourselves. I struggle a little bit about how to find a practical way to build a network in real life. So can you give me or share with me, with us also, a practical way to get developing our network in real life, maybe in going to events or something like that, but something which is very practical. And another question is how to maintain our network. So sometimes we do have a network, we know some 10 people, I would say, but in time we lose that network. How can we maintain it through time? And thank you very much.
So I think your both questions are interrelated. So the LinkedIn, it's a very different kind of social media platform. The algorithm behind the LinkedIn is very different. So when you like, share, comment on your network's post, it will boost your profile also. So when you are doing this networking thing on LinkedIn, always do like, comment, and share on the post that you really like from the existing network. And with that, start sending connection requests to the people who you meet during the networking events, after work, or during any job fair, with your teachers, with your professor, with the mutual connections, in the companies where you want to work. Go to the company page and then go to the people and then connect with the people. For example, if you want to work in a marketing, go search for the people who are working in the marketing domain and connect with them. What I personally do after being connected with someone senior to me or on a position which I admire, I send them a message after during the connection request or after being accepted that it's been great to connect with you. Have a nice day, best Anant, something like that. So these are the small efforts that make a big impression sometime. Use the LinkedIn wisely. It's not Instagram or Facebook. It's the algorithm is totally different when we use the LinkedIn. So try to get involved in the post that you see on your feed. That is my suggestion.
I completely agree with Anand here. Similarly, like I'm not very, I don't use a lot of LinkedIn. I know it's very important for your career. When I was looking for job, yes, I was, like you said, I was very involved. I used to comment on a post. I used to like posts, share them. But once I have the job, I didn't maintain it. So you need to be active in LinkedIn to maintain that kind of, um, you need to maintain the relationship or build a relationship or the network. You need to be active in LinkedIn more. That's what I lack. I have to do that more often. And going to events is sometimes just like this event. There are companies which arranges events. There are after work. It's more for after party, or after work is more for employees. But at the same time, there are companies which arranges parties to meet new freshers or people who are looking for jobs. There are parties like that. So you need to look. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's the LinkedIn pages, their company LinkedIn pages. They will post them. So you need to look into the companies you prefer, whether they arrange something like that. Go meet them, talk to them of your interest. So that gives you more visibility. Compared to when you apply for a job simply through LinkedIn or any other job posting sites. If you connect with people, it gives you more visibility. You have to send personalized message, just like he mentioned, especially if you find a job really interesting. Go find the HR of that company. Go find somebody in a higher position. Tell that you're really interested in this particular job. Pitch yourself a bit. You have more chances of landing that job than anybody who just applied through LinkedIn or through their site. To maintain the relationship or the network, you need to be out there all the time. You need to go for more events. You need to be posting regularly. That I'm not really in a good position to comment because I don't do it. But that could help you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I would also like to add one more point to maintain it. So leverage the AI. At least post on Tuesday or Wednesday every week on LinkedIn. Try to find topic or something interesting through the Chat GPT or Google Bard, and make it little bit personalized and try to post it and tag people on it, tag companies on it, those who are related to that particular post. So that it will help you to boost your profile. It will get more visibility. That's how you maintain it. So use it wisely.
Yeah. And I really liked what Tijana said at the beginning, like opportunities are not going to fall from the sky. You have to provoke it. So by involving in projects, in schema, by doing things, I think you will be more able after and more legitimate to contact company that you have already worked with and yes, have done things for them.
Exactly.
So yeah, thank you very much.
We have one more question.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
First of all, thank you guys for giving us this opportunity, and thank you, Sulen. And so my question is like, as you said, we need to be updated every day. And as a part of project management, we are doing Agile and Scrum. So is there something new in the market or in industry which you guys are, it's a challenge for you and you guys are also learning those things? So can you recommend us something, the latest trends or new things in the market?
The most recent thing that I am encountering in my work is mostly related to automation and AI. So in your project management, there are tools and certification that they are teaching you, which are mostly related to this. I will say that try to get the most out of AI, learn how to use it, how to ask question, how to prompt it. That is the most important part nowadays in the companies. And everything is soon going to be very much automated. Like you just have to put inside some data and they will automatically do all the things. So for example, the whole MS Office is now automated, very much automated. So you just have to be an asset for the company, and to be that asset, you have to know how to use that automation part, how to use that AI part, and how to become good at anything by using it. The more you use it, the more you learn about it. So this is my recommendation.
So you were talking more about the certifications like Agile and Scrum, or the
Yeah, you can say the
methodology.
certifications on new methodologies. Is there something new in the market right now?
I would say there are a lot of companies which use Kanban, and then there are Safe Agile. There are companies, for the moment in my company, we use Agile. And before, when I worked for the older companies, I worked for Waterfall, and then they said it's Agile, but it was not Agile at all. They said it's Scrum and Agile, but we didn't follow any of the ceremonies. But here in Stellantis, we follow all the ceremonies like as it is. When I'm in the Scrum methodology, it's very important to have certifications, because a lot of the recruiters, when they approach me, the first thing is like, you have a Scrum and Agile foundation certificate? Yes, I said, yeah, I do. So, okay, that's one thing they noticed. So similarly, if you would like to go for a Scrum Master or a product owner post, then it's good if you can get those kind of certification. And you can look into the Safe Agile methodology. That's quite interesting. It's more of the companies are using Safe Agile also. Even my company, they are also saying some of the projects they are into that. Some are using Kanban. And I think that's how much I know.
I will just add something quickly. I agree with all of this, but I would like to encourage you, all of you, not to take everything as it is. For example, okay, you're studying project management, which is amazing, great. But always think out of the box. Always be open to any kind of possibility, any kind. So, for example, you're studying project management and you know some of the tools that do not work very good. Okay, you have these AI tools that are available today that will help you. You can build something very robust, very not good, but you can. Try to embrace that solopreneurship, let's say, if you have it. Try to think about it, because tomorrow, if you put on your CV that you even tried to build something new that it's not on the market, companies, especially if you're looking for a management position, if you're looking for a product owner, they will evaluate it a lot. So just use it, and of course, yeah, follow trends, gain certificates, but also if you have any idea, just try to implement it. Doesn't matter if it works. You're very young, so everybody will appreciate just the effort.
Thank you. Thank you. And what is the most common methodology asked by the HRs at the time of interviews?
The most
common methodologies asked by the HR at the time of interviews?
Agile, yeah.
Yeah, because most of the companies, they're using Agile. Okay. Waterfall has gone, it's kind of, I would say, obsolete, but no, people don't use it much nowadays. But Agile is something they look into. But then if it is more on the construction kind of projects, then it's Prince 2 is there. It depends on the kind of work. If it is IT, then it's more Agile.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Neethu. Thank you, Tijana. Thank you, Anant. Thank you, all of you. Now we are going to have a buffet.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lauriane Saison from the International Office. So during those 3 minutes, I will talk about visa and residence permit for international students. So you may guess that being an international student, you have some obstacle to work in France. One of them is the residence permit and visa. So if you have any doubt, please contact me. My email address is residencepermitparis altogether at schema.edu. And I will answer your questions depending on your situation. Have a nice conference.